It is Thursday, mid-August. I think we got the 18th now, and this is Scott Hockett. I'm coming back to you from the Indianapolis minibike collection. It's been a little bit since I posted a video, and some things have changed. A few things have changed, and we've had a tremendous sales result last time, and we used eBay as well. And I'm copying this link on my ad so that people from eBay can take a good look at what we've got on video and hear a little bit about it if there is something to say that's extraordinary. There is a lot that I don't know. I may be the biggest collector in North America. We've had as many as 519 bikes in stock, and we're now down in the couple hundred range. And we do buy. We buy some bikes, and we buy those bikes from people that I call spotters, that we have really looking for bikes that have value. We want to buy bikes, unless it's a restored modified, and even in those, we sort of want to have as much authenticity as possible. We certainly like to see a good build, but as far as original bikes are concerned, what we like to buy are bikes that have real collectible value, for collections that we've sold to in recent history in South America. I've mentioned also Munich, Germany, a really nice museum there, and I'll give you guys a link, but they have purchased from us. I think they're going to purchase some more, as a matter of fact. But we have got some really nice builds that we did right here, and I want to just share with you a very quick narrative on this before we get any further. This is a hobby for me. I really became an addict, an alcoholic, and my wife, who's the most amazing person on earth, who really shouldn't have forgiven me, but she did. I'm glad she did. But my life was a mess, and I ended up going to a place called Saul to Paul in Ellisville, Indiana, and when I came out of that several months later, I decided that I really wanted to, if my life could ever be rebuilt, because I'd made a lot of bad decisions at that point, had a tremendous business, and ended up having to sell everything in order to pay for the gambling on Wall Street. If you really want to get swindled, go to Wall Street. And don't worry about your bookie or anything along those lines. If you really want to gamble and get beat, go to Wall Street. I did that, and it cost me everything I had. And so on the other side of that, I became a Christian. I accepted Christ, and I really went full on into studying His Word, and I hope I haven't lost you guys at this point, but that's been my, everybody's got their thing. That's my thing. And so we acquired control of 2 8-bedroom homes. We spent a lot of money on them, on a 9-acre piece of property here, and so we bring men in that have been to drug and alcohol rehab, and guys that really want to rebuild their life, and those are the people that do this. This is my hobby, but we have hired a tremendous expert, a Honda specialist, and he's a tremendous mechanic, and he trains our guys, and our guys actually build these bikes that I call world class. And I sold to a lot of people, and they agree. My reviews on eBay will really tell the story, but I really have to rely on people, that have a better handle on this. Minibike Mike, who you can't hire him. He won't consult for you. He's just a guy, but he just happens to know a lot of stuff. So if I've got a question, I've been invited to just call him or send him a text message and send him some pictures, and that kind of keeps me out of trouble, because I take a lot of people at their word on what I'm buying, and we do know that we're not going to buy anything that doesn't have the right motor, chassis, and VIN number plate. If they don't match, if it's not a numerical fit on the motor number, And of course, if the VIN number and the VIN tag, I'm sorry, the VIN tag and the body number don't match, have really no interest. So it really starts there. It's got to be authentic. And so we want, we take a bike like this. This is a bike that was acquired by a local guy from a person in Minnesota. And we paid about $3,300, and we also paid for transportation to the person that bought it locally to buy it in Minnesota. And it's a really good bike, but you can see, that if you look real close, this bike is really it's just chipped up and nicked up, and it's got a lot of what I call bark on the tree. That's bark, that's not. And so this is not a bike, really, we overpaid for this bike. But I gotta tell you, the guy that sold it in Minnesota knows what he's doing. And he put some new tires on this thing. Look at this. It's got a new top end. It's obvious that he put a new top end. That is a brand new or re-chromed K0 style exhaust. And look here, K0 style seat. So this guy knows what he's doing, that put this thing together and sold it to us. Runs good, shifts good. A good bike. But numbers matching, right pedigree, a good bike. But that bike's going to go to that place. We're going to have this done to that bike. We're going to have the type of paint and finish that you can win awards with, and so this is going to come completely apart. So here we go. Let's do the math real quick. You start with $3,300. You spend $1,200 to get to this point, and then you spend $1,600 on parts. So if you're following me, you're about nearly $3,000. You got labor that you add to that. So when somebody says, how can this restored bike that's done, as I said, these are born again bikes done by born again people that I love, and we spend a lot of time with them. We watch every step that they're taking. Derek never leaves their side. Hey, by the way, are you looking at what I'm looking at? You see those two silver tags? That's right. I got a third one coming. So we may do a threesome. We may put that guy, this and the gold one, the other classic numbers matching correct silver tag. We may put the three of them on, bring a trailer for one price, and that's something I've thought about doing for a long time. It'd be kind of fun. Yes, I am still a gambler. I can't get it out of my blood. We're going to go no reserve. If they take the thing, if they don't take the thing, I've got a guy I go through, and they have to, they take all of his consignments. I just have to pay them a little extra money. But this is a tremendous example of two silver tags, and these are the correct colors. This is what color they were, and we put them back together the right way. Look at that. That's exactly, that is this color. That is exactly perfect. So if it's not this color when you're looking at it, and somebody calls it candy sapphire blue, show them this video. And I'm not saying throw it in their face, because you guys have been really nice to me when I've been wrong, and I appreciate that a lot. You've given me a lot of grace. But I put this bike next to this bike, which is a Survivor, and you cannot tell them apart. And that's really kind of the only way you can know if you got the color right. You put this candy ruby red, wow. And look at the finish. One thing that people talk about when they get my bikes, they absolutely love the finish. I think Lando's the best painter in the world. He's right up there. I've had some really good ones. All you guys have painted for me over the years, my cars and stuff like that. I'm not picking on any of you. I love you all. In fact, Kenny Shingler, nobody better ever, world's greatest, out there with Darren Nicholson, and Fountain Town. This is Lando's right there with you, Kenny. He's the man. He's really picked it up. But these bikes are correct. Now, I will tell you something. You know, they got a couple things now. The silver tags, these bikes, when they were born, they did not have this little tip on them right here. The stub is what they had. In fact, I can show you a stub very quickly. I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you a stub muffler. Why? Because this is an authentic. It's sold, by the way. Don't try to buy it. It's got 100 kilometers on it. This is a bike that sold to a collector in Miami, a real nice guy. I wish I could say his name. Just a fantastic guy. But you see that exhaust? That's the stub right there. That's not. See that extra piece on the back of that one versus this one? That's how you tell them apart. Also, let's get back off this Dax. But also on these silver tags, they have a different bucket. By the way, I'm putting the correct bucket. I bought the correct bucket. We didn't have them when we built these, but the seat buckets, these are, we're going to pull these seats off. We'll put them on, we'll put them, because these are correct seats for the K0s. But we will put them on a new build. So those are going to have the right seats on them. They will not have the stub exhaust. I may take a hit for that, but I'm not trying to compete in concourse here. But look at that. I just am so proud of my guys. Does anybody like candy emerald green? Of course. We sold 6 of them this month. It was a bad deal because I love color, but look out there. We don't have any green ones left. we had 4 in the last video, and we sold all 4 of them. Look, by the way, can you believe this? I had Julian do this for me down in Texas, and he did a great job putting this one together. You can do it better, and we did. This guy here, the only fault I have on this one is the aftermarket finish headlight bucket. I do not like it. Got a great speedometer. I mean, we've got a 4-speed. I'm sorry, we've got a 3-speed speedometer on this bike because it is a 3-speed. But if you look again, we get the color right. They didn't. So we're gonna have to pull this off. We will match it to this. That's candy sapphire, guys. That's how you do it. That's correct. And by the way, this is an amazing build. And look here, done with the, when you feel these factory fenders, you're gonna see that this has a lip underneath it right here, and that makes it so that when you put your finger against the front, it won't cut it like it will with an aftermarket fender, which I can show you. Unfortunately, Julian used an aftermarket fender on this one. I love this build, I really do. But this aftermarket here, and it'll almost cut you when you feel it, I'm not a big fan. But anyways, for those of you that are really critiquing, man, I invite your comments. I really do. I learn. I'm a big collector, but I don't know nearly as much as a lot of other guys out there that don't do any collecting. This is a really fantastic. I can get as close as you want. This is a beautiful original candy, topaz orange. And this bike's original. We put an exhaust on it. Yes, we did. It was a re-chromed exhaust. We have our chrome work done down in San Antonio, Texas, and that is a very, 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 very original bike. We took, this is original seat, and we did put a cover on this bike because it needed one, but it's done correctly. It's done with the right cover, OE style cover. These are being replaced. I do have those in stock, and that's just my miss. That we can replace those very easily. But wow, what a really nice. It's 3,000 mile original Survivor bike. It's got a couple pieces of touch up on it that are close, but really you're looking at a very original bike. Same here. When you're talking about candy rubies and you want to buy a really nice original candy ruby, there you go. That's a 2,000 mile candy ruby Survivor. Look at that paint. It's just fantastic. I mean, there's hardly any blemishes on this bike anywhere. Got all the original stickers. We did have to put new decal on it, but really, really nice candy ruby. And this is a fantastic example here. We love I kind of like the racks on these as well. But this is something we've done this twice now. A guy in Michigan restored one, and we liked it. We kind of chased after it with this one, and we sold 2 or 3 of what I call the Coke can red bikes. Some guys just absolutely dig it, and I'm more of an original guy. I like this this Survivor style bike a lot. Unfortunately, the Survivors are not bringing what the restored bikes are, and you guys don't hate me for saying that. I'm with you on the Survivor bike. I love them, but they're not bringing nearly the money that the restored bikes are. Do you think this is restored? It's not. I'm going to show you the worst part of it right here and here, because it has that. Unfortunately, those are damaged on a lot of them. This was adult owned. I bought it from an adult. He's on the title, by the way. The guy I wrote the check to is on the title. Yes, it has a one owner title. And if you got one nicer, send me pictures. Scott@cilcap.com. That's Scott@cilcap.com. If you got one nicer than that, show me a picture. I love this bike, and by the way, I don't believe it's the nicest one in the world, but it may be. It's in the top 5. I've got some at my house that I'm not going to show you, but it's in the top 5, I think, for Candy Ruby Special Candy Yellow 3-speed 1972s. They only came in 2 colors, and you're looking at the 2 right now. That's a 2,400 mile bike, and you're looking at the other Survivor. This is the other color. These are the 2 3-speeds. If you've got 3 speeds, Candy Special Yellow and Candy Ruby, if you got the 2, send me pictures. I love that. Or if you don't, these are 2 really nice Survivor Candy Special Yellow and Candy Ruby Red. Those are the only 2 colors that were available in that 1972. These are not the 4 speeds. I'll probably have a bunch of you guys ask me about that. These are not the 4 speeds. These are the 3 speeds, and I'm just lining it back up. I like things perfect, unfortunately, and it was just a little off. But anyways, yeah, that's the 2 that were available in 70 and 72. And it all changed in 73. A lot of changes there. But look here. You can see the difference, right? That's the K1 right here. That's the K0. People do put a K0 front on a K2, 3, or 4 body, but we don't buy them. These are original bikes. That has an original one owner title on it. This has 800 miles, and this has 600 and... it's got 600 miles on it, I think. 655. And that's an all original, not messed with Candy Sapphire Blue. And it has a couple of parts on it that needs to be, we're going to replace this before we sell it. So if you buy it, it's coming with a new hand control there. We did absolutely put a re-chromed original muffler on it. Yes, we did. And we did completely blueprint balance, tear that engine down, blueprint balance it. Joe did that for us. It's really, really well done. And we are so blessed to have the people we have. Look at those 2 silver tacks. Anyways, we've got a tremendous group now. Mr. 50, I think I'm going to go ahead and post that. I love that bike. There's a story behind it. There's the Coca-Cola Red. I was telling you, we've done a couple of them since we sold the ones we had. Resto Mods, by the way, that's what I ride. Don't hate me. I got one that goes 60 miles an hour and has fantastic shocks. It can go on and off the road, fantastic. And it's a Honda motor, by the way. We just used a different sprocket and big bore kit, which is what that has. and which is what that has. And these bikes are a blast. If you're like me, I'm two and a quarter, and I'm an ex-athlete. The Resto Mod is my favorite ride. I like the originals, of course, but they're for sale. This Resto Mod's not, that I've got at home anyways right now. These are Honda helmets, by the way. They were sort of meant to go with the bikes, and I'm not saying that they won't, but really, really nice group of originals now. A lot of KOs, and we've got some bikes that we're in the process of restoring. Every single one that we're walking by right now is going to be completely restored. But I do have people that call me and say, hey, you got anything cheap? I'd like to buy a good Survivor barn find, and this is what barn finds look like, guys. This is what barn find looks like. Don't hate me if you got something uglier, that's fine. I have washed them, but this is barn find stuff here, and we do have one of the rarest Schwinn 3-speeds in the world. It's a crate. It was done in the very rare. They call it an orange crate, just like the other orange crates, and I've had several of them. But this is I think it's sunburst orange, and it didn't work. This is a bad idea by Schwinn. This is an all original bike. It doesn't have anything added to it. I bought it to be original, and it is. And that is a disc brake. Very, very rare to have a disc brake on these. It came as a factory disc brake, and so just a cool bike. Great quality service here. And then we got the P Picker, and it's all completely restored by a young man in Louisiana. I wouldn't send my bike anywhere in the world. Not because there isn't anybody better. And we had those restored by him. This is built by our buddy Tom down in Kentucky, and I love this. I rode this around, and we're across the street from a police department now. Fantastic state of the world Beech Grove Police Department, and I rode this around the other day on the streets. Obviously didn't have a plate or anything, and they're just out there standing on the sidewalk looking at me. They kind of liked it, and we're blessed to be here in Beech Grove, where you can still do stuff like that without people being mean. Candy, Emerald, I've got 3 of them over in the build shop right now. We're gonna have 4 of them ready very, very shortly. And I've got Candy, Topaz Orange, which I have the most requests for those 2. I want to show you, this is sometimes it's kind of what we start with. We get them all back from the paint shop, and then this is not Lando's paint work. Lando wouldn't do that to you. It's done well, but it's not Lando's level. And this here is sort of how we get the motors. This motor has not been disassembled yet. It's going to come completely apart like that. We will then take every one of the inside parts. We're going to bead blast the parts that we can. We're going to get the parts correct. If it needs any new parts, we'll buy some new parts. They got to be OE, and we get them. And so we'll put those together after they're completely taken apart. It's a good 300-mile 1980. I believe that's a 1980. Might be an 81. Yep, it is 81. 81 had that blue decal. I forgot. And I can't wait till those come up. I got 30 of them, and the 80s. I've got 30 of those, and I've got probably near 50 of the 90s. I'm in trouble there because I bet wrong on those. I got too many of them. Look at these. Isn't that beautiful? That's K2, 1971. I'm sorry, I believe 1972, and just gorgeous. Actually, I've got the VIN tag over there, and we're going to re-rivet that because it came loose. It did not have rivets on it. It was restored, and then it was glued on, and it did not stay. We sold all of the packages last month. We sold the 3, the red, the blue, and the yellow. We had 2 collections along here in last month's video. Those all sold. These are just freshly done. These we have not sold, 79 models, and 80 or 81 here. 1980. So we got a 79 and an 80. This was built by a great guy out in Arizona, 79 with hot rod motor. It does go 45 miles an hour. Really neat ride. We call that the Blue Bomber. And we did sell her sister, and to a good friend of ours in New Jersey, or in he's in just off Long Island, and just a great guy. I'd love to talk about him, but he's a super guy, and he'd be embarrassed, and I really don't have permission. But look here, we got 110 cc's, we got a 4-speed, we got a hot rod, and we got a bike that most people, have been touched by breast cancer at some level, and they're, buy that as a commemoration to the person you loved. Hey, even if it's a survivor, that's a word we love to use. We like born again, and we love survivors. Guys that have been through tests and challenges and trials that don't really understand why the devil is God's lackey, but he is. And I can share more about that if you ever have an interest. And these are originals. They do have a key, they do have a horn. We had them, they've been completely restored. They're gorgeous. There's my apple crate. It's not going to get away from me real easy, but yeah, just a beautiful group of bikes for you in this video, and longer than it should be. Love you guys. Thank you for following me, and I hope you learned something. God bless you.